What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about BCHG and LTCN at the request of 68 or 668. Without any further ado, let's get into this. So yes, I do think that Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust is going to go down. I do think that the LTCN Grayscale Trust is going to go down as well, and I'll explain why I think that, where these numbers are coming from. So let's kind of do something I don't normally do, which is show how it's reacted on its fibs before. So you can see here, bottom to high, found support at its 382, a little bit below it. That's very common. And then you went up higher. Same thing here, low to high, found support right at your 382, a little bit below it, but very, very close to it, and then you went up higher. And then here, 382 is all the way down here. I would think you go there. If we take, and that's all the way down at $1.78, it wouldn't surprise me if you went a little bit lower, but somewhere around $1.78, $1.50 maybe. I doubt you go lower than that, personally. Bottom to top here on the relative speaking, the 618, the golden ratio, is right there at $2, and generally speaking, you do tend to go a little bit below the 618 as well. You actually, I've seen it enough times where you do go right to your 6.9 and then bounce off of that. But there is a decent bit of the time where you do bounce right off the 618 as well. So I'd say anywhere from about $1.70 to $2.03 is possible in my opinion. Also, if you look at this, if we're just taking a wild look at this with our seeing eyeballs, from this low to this low here, and maybe let's hug this a little bit more, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, you've got this trend line here. If this was to happen like over the coming month or so, that could take you to $2.32. Maybe you do find support there. That is a previous area where you've got weekly resistance here on a closing basis, and if you were to bottom out in like February 12th, that could be where you bottom, and that would be like the highest price prediction. But genuinely speaking, I do think that you go below $2, probably below $1.80, but there's a decent chance that you could bounce around $2.40 as well. So if you're looking to buy into this thing, don't mess around with it. If it goes down to $2.40, might be a good time to start DCAing. Already had a week where it dropped 17.5%. It might still be a good time to DCA, though I do think it goes lower. The weekly was overbought, and now it's not. That's not normally a good sign. The last time that it was overbought and then it came out, you saw this massive dump here. Overbought right here. Whenever you got out of it, massive dump right there. And we're just at the beginning now. So I do think that it's going to go lower. That is my genuine opinion. Don't be surprised if it goes up from here. You're at 370 right now. Don't be surprised if you see it sometime next week at like 433. That could happen. Lower high nonetheless, and then probably lower. It might not do that. It might just dump out next week, but that's kind of my genuine assumption, is that it is going lower. So this daily RSI does look sad. You had this nice looking uptrend right here, right? Nice little channel up. You broke out of it. Multiple things pointing to the downside. That's why I think it's going at least to $2.40 around there. If not, in my opinion, more probably just below $2, but above like $1.70. That's what I'm thinking. So that's BCHG. Let's get to LTCN here. Yeah, LTCN had a massive run up, man. So it's going to drop more overall percentage-wise, probably. 35% down already with a weekly close like that, right at $10. Don't be surprised again if you find support here and you bounce. Starting the week green, you might even close the week green, but ultimately has lower to go. That 382 there is right at $8. Again, it's very common to go just below that. And the 618, 6.9, the reason why I wasn't really giving that so much of an emphasis on Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust is because it's, here, let's just look at it real quick. Low to high. That would be a lower low. I don't think you're going to get that. I don't think you're going to get a lower low than that, right? Where with LTCN, the 618, 6.9 is a higher low still, okay? You can absolutely be holding this parabolic structure while still going down. I mean, it'd be a little bit more drawn out than that, but but you get what I'm trying to say. Still would be a higher low than this most relative low here. So I very much do believe that LTCN can go below $5, maybe even all the way down to $4. It is possible, just a little bit above $4, but at least a little bit below $7, and I don't think it'll stop there. I'd be surprised if you found support in this 382 area. I would think that you go lower, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Top to bottom here. 786 lining up with that 618, very nice. 61869 zone splitting that 0.5 there. So there is going to be decent support around 660 to 580. But ultimately, I would expect prices ultimately to go below $7, probably even below 660, and with an ultimate low somewhere around just above $4, if not around 472. That is also a previous area of resistance, right here. Maybe this, yeah, 470 right there. Support here, resistance in this area, and then again that $4 zone. I don't know. Again, just a little bit above that $4 zone. More resistance and support kind of in this area, though it's not really too well respected. I wouldn't think you break below $4 personally, but that's LTCN, that's BCHG. RSI looks weak. Again, man, you broke out of this nice uptrend that you had. You broke out of it. You just saw that. I mean, you've only had one example where you've been overbought and you came out of it and you saw quite the dump and you meandered your way down, but eventually saw more downside because of it. So we could see something like this where it meanders for a second, but ultimately I think you have lower to go. There is potential with this thing to find its low above $6, just because I'm emphasizing that $4 to 470 area doesn't mean that it's going to go there. I kind of think that it will. I personally do believe that it will, but it doesn't have to. Absolutely, it could find support between $6 and $7. So just be aware of that. There are key areas of support there as well, not just in price, but on the fibs. So be aware of that. I personally, if I was looking to buy into this thing, I wouldn't start buying right now, but 35% discount, relatively speaking, it's not a bad time to start DCAing, but do what you want. It's your money. You never know when something like this could happen, right? Like, it doesn't need to go all the way down there. And I'm sure any of you up here, when you were thinking about buying it, it's at a very juicy price right now. So don't let me deter you from doing that, but just be prepared if you do buy in these areas that it probably will go down. What I would try to deter you from is if you see it move all the way back up to $15 to $16, don't get excited. Still a lower low or lower high, could be a double top of sorts, give you some actual bearish divergence on your weekly. Don't get excited, because this thing is low liquidity in comparison to Bitcoin Cash Trust, so you could get some crazy volatility on your way down. Don't be surprised if that happens. You know, for example, right, you were down 25% one week, the next week you were down 10%, and then the following week you were up 64%. And then you went up even higher after that, right? Still had a lower high, ultimately went lower over time. So what I would say is be patient, close your eyes for a month. It'll probably be at prime prices to buy for both of these, is my genuine opinion. But again, I can be wrong. And I say a month, maybe like 2 to 6 weeks. It's a big range, but 2 to 6 weeks is what I'd say. But that's both of these. I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.